Oh, what a night it was. It was pish. And this is the match review. Reaction, post day, next day, delivery. I don't know. I'm quite tired, but we're going to talk about the game, guys, because it was pish. All right? It was absolutely utter dross from Scotland last night. I don't know how long I'm going to be live for it. Simply just going to be a wee rant and rave. And we've actually got a lot of comments to get into, but I'm actually disgusted by last night. You know, I know there's a lot of people that don't support the national team, whatever, right? This may not be your cup of tea, but I think anyone with any two functioning brains would realise that Steve Clarke's got to go. And you know what? The title may be today for Steve Clarke to go, but if he announced that he's leaving and he played the remaining two games, I'd accept that as well. I mean, it's simply not good enough, man. It's really not good enough, man. It's fucking pathetic. Like, we had no shots playing some of the worst football I've ever seen. And considering I've watched Rangers a lot of games this season, there's really it was bogging. But I put a poll up. I got 375 votes. 62% voted yes to sack him, while 38% voted no. So into the comments we go. Boss Cheese says, anyone that thinks McGregor is actually a good player after that performance wasn't watching the same game. We finally saw the trap McGregor in that game. Well, you know what, Cal McGregor's know that. I think he got found out last night. I think Anthony Ralston got found out. I think a lot of players got found out. And it was pathetic. You know, Anthony Ralston, I mean, not that I feel sorry for the guy, but he got thrown in the deep end by Steve Clarke. Anyone with a fucking I wouldn't say IQ would play Tierney in at right back or something, man. You've got to try something. And we've got a lot of comments burying Cal McGregor. This Celtic player, McGregor, he can't run, so why is he playing? I don't know. Joe says, when you're bringing guys like Hanley, Gilmore, and McLean off the bench, you know you are fucked. And I couldn't agree more with that. Chris Barrett says, Christie, Porteous, and Ralston should never play for Scotland again. But not just that, Gilmore on the bench. When we need creativity and players who can damage teams, Steve Clarke's an absolute waste of space. I think he's the best tactician. Shut up and bolt. AG says, haha, come on, Germany. I feel like I'm about to sneeze here. Because my sinuses are out the window, as per usual. Sky Seafood and Eat It says, top scorer in Scotland on the bench. Gordon back home in Scotland, same as Suter. Unbelievable, embarrassing. He must go. He's got so much wrong. He has got so much wrong. McGregor stank the place out of his comfort zone in the SPL. I mean, Cal McGregor we gave him a 1 in the player ratings over on Fogfoot. He was so bad, man. And before people go, that's the blue tinted specs. Soonest, right, blue tinted specs. Ian Wright and Roy Keane were going through McGregor. It was everybody. It was absolutely everybody. And it's kind of funny to see people fucking try and defend the guy. You know, it doesn't matter if he's Rangers or not, because I'm feeling really shit, troops. But Rangers or Celtic, it wasn't good enough last night. Even though there was no Rangers players, but here is what it is. Of course, sacked now, says Davy Hutchinson. John Maybury says there's not one Scottish player that could compete at the level. We're simply not good enough, as English say. Enjoy your week's holiday. Well, I tell you what, right? You can say what you want about it. We've got Premier League players, and the Premier League is, you know, it's the best league in the world, apparently. So why couldn't those players at least attempt to go toe-to-toe? You know, it's no good enough. Like, I know Ralston and McGregor are getting all the pelters, right? Alongside Porteous, and none of them playing the Premier League, but yeah, it wasn't exactly ideal. No, as long as Scotland continue to get fresh big scores, keep them, says Man UFC Tom. Wardism says, team looked like it was the first time they've played together. The constant long balls up to no one was embarrassing to watch. Like, why the fuck was Adams starting and Shankland on the bench? Adams is pissing off for nothing all game. Then you bring on Shankland on like the 80th minute. Yeah, and as soon as you bring on Shankland, like he's offering something. He was holding up the ball. He was getting people involved. And at that point, the game's dead. Like, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah. I mean, look at my goal Shankland scored, man, and that's what he gets treated. I'm done with Clarke. He's got no tactics to take us any further. Yeah, you know what? Thank you, Steve Clarke. You got us to 2 tournaments, but you fucking shat the bed in both of them. So I think it's time to go, everybody, for Steve Clarke. It's time to go. It is absolutely time to go, as I am absolutely feeling horrendous, everybody. Why didn't he start Billy Gilmore? He hates Rangers that much. It fucking looks that way, man. I know it's always a gimmick. Steve Clarke, he loves his Celtic boys, right? It was fucking embarrassing. Are you giving Ryan Jack and Gilmore 10 out of 10? I believe we gave Billy Gilmore a 3 out of 10, and Ryan Jack didn't go on the pitch, so I'll give him a 10 out of 10. It's just pish. Club allegiances to one side. There was not one player out there that could hold their fucking head up high, especially at the start of the game. I thought some of the subs. I thought McKenna was good. McKenna was good. He came on, made a few good defensive blocks and clearances, tackles, and then he had a play in the goal. So that's what it is for Scott McKenna troops. But the rest of them, at least Gilmore can hold on to the ball a bit. Absolutely, Billy Gilmore can hold on to the ball, and that's what can be said for fucking a lot of other players. Is I think I've got a nosebleed, but is what it is. It's just pish. I'm fucking, looking forward to the tournament, right? Even though I was saying we're going to get pumped, like anyone with half a brain could see, right, that we would get pumped. And when I say pumped, I thought we'd get scud at like 3-1. I predicted 3-1. I thought, yeah, we'll get beat 3-1, but we'll create chances, and you'll be like, if you take your chances against Hungary and Switzerland, we had no shots. So I'm sorry, if there can be no one defending Clarke, right? If you don't want him sacked, I can accept that. But if you're defending that performance last night, I've got to question if you've got fucking eyeballs, because no shots across 96 minutes. Forget about doing the 10 men. What about the first half? It's not like we had a go for the first 10 minutes, right? And the shell shocked us and our arse went. Our arse went as soon as Florida Scotland finished. That's what happened. It's just utterly pathetic, utterly gash is what it was. There's no fucking defending that game last night, and he's got to go. It was fucking embarrassing. I mean, you get your hopes up for that. It was like watching a Scottish team in Europe, and even then, that's disrespectful. Dundee United, when they get scud at 7-0, actually played decent in the first half against AZ Alkmaar. Examples like that. It's like Rangers against Liverpool 7-1. Rangers played decent in the first half. There's nothing to suggest this, by the way. Like, we didn't even play good for 5 seconds in that game. 96 minutes, we couldn't even string a pass together. Ralston's not good enough, and why not play Tierney at right back instead? It's not ideal. It got to be better than Ralston. That's what I said. I think it would be better than Ralston, but whatever reason, it's fucking no happening for Stevie Clarke. I went to Italian 90 and France 98, so used to disappointment, Stevie. Scotland wise. Yeah. No, I get that, right? We've never made it out the groups, but that's an awful record. But, there's competitive games, and then there's that. There's no shots. I mean, we played like San Marino, and I've put Scott Marino in the title of this video, but it's absolute shite. They look doomed in the. I mean, Ralston's played 6 games for Celtic all season, or has he started 6? It doesn't really matter, man. But I don't want to just. It's not Anthony Ralston's fault. The guy's not good enough, and he's been asked to do a job that there's not many players that we have that could fucking attempt to do it. And judging by the players out there, yeah, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and that's what fucking Anthony Ralston is. And, Cal McGregor gets lauded as this fucking goat. John McGinn gets lauded as this, big arse goat. Scott McTominay, goal scoring machine. Shea Adams, he needs to start over Shankland. He's got the Premier League quality. He's fired Southampton back to the big time, sort of thing. Kieran Tierney and Andy Robertson, two of the best left backs in world football. Well, what happened last night? They want a goal kick and they started fucking celebrating. No, it's a tin pot mentality, and now the focus has changed to, oh well, as long as England don't win it. That's fucking tin pot, man. Like, I mean, no, I don't want. No one wants England to win it, right? I know well, there'll be some people that want England to win it, but if our tournament is simply consisting of, well, we get scudded by Germany, but here, as long as England don't win it, I think that's fucking embarrassing. That is. I know there's a lot of people, right, that would take getting scudded across 3 games if it meant England didn't win it. I think that logic's pathetic. Like, I've seen club football. I mean, would I want a Champions League run to the semi-final that meant Celtic won it? Of course I wouldn't. But I think you've got to look at your own club and think, you know what? If England won it, would you not take us having a good run to the semi-final, playing some decent football, and actually going toe-to-toe with Europe's elite? I think we've got to look past the bitterness, because I think it's pathetic. Because see, watching that last night, it's like, well, I feel sorry for everybody, who's actually went out there, put political differences and all that shite aside. I feel sorry for every single fucking person that's travelled out there and wasted their hard-earned money on that. I know some of them won't care because party atmosphere and all that stuff, but it was a fucking disgrace. It was an absolute disgrace. Well, that's Scotland for you. And guess what burst my bet? Over 7.5 corners, Stevie. Only 5, yeah. And the fact that we couldn't amount nothing going forward. We are shite. Getting there is our success. No, I'm going to disagree with that. We are shite. And yeah, getting there is good. But, we played well at Wembley, drew 0-0, beat Spain, why can't we go toe to toe with Germany and give it a game? There's ways to lose 5-1, and last night was not the way. So Germany didn't even get a first gear. I know a lot of people are wanking off Tony Kroos, right, and Gundogan. They didn't even do anything, man. We let them do it. It was just piss poor. You could have fit the fucking Titanic or Alfredo Morelos' fucking McDonald's meal in between the gap in the midfield and the defence, man. It was fucking pathetic. Why does Scotland play like Rangers? I think it was very similar. I made a lot of comparisons to it last night. It says, Rangers got scored at 5-1 by PSV. At least Rangers, it was poor defensively for Rangers, but attacking wise, Rangers still created chances. We had no shots last night. Andorra, San Marino, Gibraltar would have played better than us. Is what it is. Players let the fans doing big time. Steve Clarke must surely go after this tournament. You won something, Stevie. McCoist and Souness got those elite awards of. Who cares though? I mean, they're winning like the same award as Karen Kearney, and I think that just defeats the absolute purpose here. Kilmac is no good when he's not allowed to referee the game. Maybe that's true. And I think Cal McGregor was the worst midfielder, but let's not pretend that John McGinn and Scott McTominay were good. They were just as bad without the mistakes that McGregor had for a few of the goals. So, yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to keep this stream going because I'm feeling like shite, but I think it's... So, yeah, he was fucking hanging on. He was hanging on for dear life. But, yeah. I think that's where we're going to end the live stream, guys. I was just doing a short one today. It's shite. The Euros is done. Forget about it. It is all fucking over, everybody.